to Harness Up with Haste Draft Horses and Mules, where we talk all things related to these magnificent animals. From their history and uses to training and care, we cover it all. Join us as we chat with experts and enthusiasts in the field, share stories and tips, and explore the world of draft horses and mules. Whether you're a seasoned owner or just curious about these gentle giants, this podcast is for you. So harness up and join Haste Draft Horses and Mules for some lively discussions about these God-given creatures.
Howdy, folks. Stephen Haste here with Haste Draft Horses and Mules. How's everybody doing? It's rare I do 2 podcasts in one day, but today I'm doing that. And I've got a guy here that's been another member of our community, just like the last episode with Chris and Chris. This guy's kind of been around since the start of it. I'm hanging out, and he's a mule man, kind of like myself. So we're going to talk to Mr. Andrew here, but we appreciate y'all. First and foremost, happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Thank all the veterans out there for all your service. I think you're a veteran, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And we appreciate all y'all. And we're going to have a little talk with you today and let Andrew talk about himself and how he got into horses and just kind of talk about Andrew a little bit. So if you're new here, I'm Stephen. We run Haste Draft Horses and Mules. This is our podcast, Harness Up. Check us out on YouTube, on youtube.com at Haste Draft Horses and Mules. We also have our website, www.drafthorsesandsmulesforsale.com. And we're all over all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. Anywhere you look, you're going to find us at Haste Draft Horses and Mules. Thank y'all. Andrew, how are you doing? I know you're hot and tired.
I'm doing great today. It's, we've had a lot of fun. So I've known you for about 8 months now. Came down here October for my birthday weekend when you guys had the free barbecue. Mm-hmm. It was fantastic. I learned a lot. And probably, I want to say, best birthday of my life. It was fantastic. I had a lot of fun.
That is your birthday, ain't it?
That is my birthday. National Mule Day, as appointed by George Washington, is October 26th, and that is my birthday.
And you're a mule man.
And I am a mule man through and through.
You've been hanging out with a donkey this week, son.
Yeah, well, I like Melvin. I feel for him. He's a little youngster, and they're out there beating on him a little bit, so I had to give him a little love.
Yeah, the other horses are beating on him.
Yeah, they are. They're beating him pretty bad, but he'll get through it.
Yeah. Where are you from, Andrew?
I am from the east end of Long Island, up in New York.
Oh, wow.
Out there in, believe it or not, out there in the farms.
You'll be the first New Yorkian. Is that what they call y'all up there, New Yorkians?
New Yorkers.
New Yorkers. You'll be the first one on the podcast.
All right, then.
So you're the first one from New York. What do you do for a living up there?
Well, I'm a director for a university for we call it telecom, but really it's everything low voltage. We don't run electrical lines, but we do fiber optics. We do cable TV. We install Wi-Fi. We install cameras. We do anything that is needed that does not require an electrician on site. That's us. And about 7 campuses that I'm responsible and oversee the guys to make sure the work gets done.
What branch of the service was you in?
I was in Army, 3rd of the 75th Ranger Battalion out of Fort Benning, Georgia, and I did 2 tours of combat while I was in.
And you've been out how long?
I've been out since December 19th of 1991.
So you definitely wasn't doing horses and mules and stuff when you was in the Army?
No, I was not. I did really no mules up until probably, I want to say about 10 years ago. I started really to get heavy into mules. Before that, I did some riding as a kid. There's a lot of horses out on the East End, but I enjoyed it, but I really didn't start to get into mules until I started to read about them, learn the history, the fact that we would not have won World War I without mules.
Yeah.
Hauling equipment that horses just were too weak to haul. And Also, a lot of people don't know how smart mules are. They used to use them for the medical litters. They'd send a horse from the hospital, a mule from the hospital. He'd go into enemy lines, pick up people, bring them back across to the hospital with nobody directing them. They only had to bring them one time, and he knew the pathway back and forth after that.
I remember hearing that and reading about it in books.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Yeah.
Used them in the coal mines?
Used them everywhere. This country was built on it, and honestly, the Industrial Revolution, we have George Washington to thank because of the 2 donkeys that got sent over.
Yep.
We had no mammoths until the King of Spain, who said they could not be exported, graciously sent over 2 males and 2 females. Unfortunately, one of the males died, but the other 2 females survived, and so did the male, and his name was Royal Gift, and you'll find his bloodline in every mule in this country.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the start of it.
That was the start of it all the cotton and everything else that we did in this country. Before we had Mack trucks and before we had tractors, mules did that work.
Is that kind of what makes you want mules? The history, so much history behind them?
I just have a lot of respect for them.
You like them?
Yeah, you could whip a horse off a cliff, but you'll have to whip the legs off the back of a donkey or a mule, and they still won't move.
Yeah.
They're just smarter. They know, hey, I might lose a leg, but I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guys, if you hear a lot of noise in the background, I don't know if it's coming through or not, but we got a whole lot of kids out here in the shop and people. We're getting ready to have fireworks, so if they're hollering and screaming comes through, I'm sorry. But we've had a pretty wild week with all these kids around here.
We're going to have a party tonight.
We are.
Yeah.
I think we got how many? I don't know how many fireworks we got.
Oh, jeez. It's more than I've seen in a personal display.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if you've heard of Grucci, the big firework company up north. Yeah. It looks like they raided Grucci's home and stole his fireworks to bring them down here. That's what they got out there. There's so many.
So tell us about your personal herd at home now. What do you got at home?
Well,
now?
I only have one left at home. I'm downsizing because I'm fixing to retire in about 4.5 years, as you know.
Yeah.
And I'm down to just a little mule that I adopted from a bad situation, and I'll never get rid of him no matter what happens. But I got rid of a riding mule, and I was thinking about getting more, but my wife talked some sense into me and said, why are you going to put a bigger barn up and do everything else if we're going to be leaving there, in 5 years? And she's right. So I downsized, and in 4.5 years, you and I are going to be doing some business, and I'm going to be getting hopefully mules. But if you have a real nice team of Percherons, I favor the Percherons too. And that's it. When I retire, I'd like to be detached from everything that I'm into right now. I'm on campuses with thousands of people. Oh, yeah. And I'm talking to literally hundreds of people in a week. And not that it's stressful. Sometimes I just don't want to hear anybody's voice.
Yeah.
I want to go out in the field, sit behind an animal, and hear the click-clack of that machine, for a couple hours and put my mind at rest. Yeah. I have no intention of being one of those guys that says, oh, I'm going to, just lay around on the beach. That's not me. Mm-hmm. I still want to be active, and I think working with animals keeps you active. It's not one of those things where you walk out the door and turn a key and everything takes care of itself. And once in a while, you got to do an oil change and throw some tranny fluid in there. Mm-hmm. There's morning feedings. There's evening feedings. You got to go ahead and, hose them down once in a while. You might have to nurse a wound that they got once in a while. But they get me out of bed in the morning. Yeah. I get up and I try to get my exercise in. Then I go out there. As soon as I open up that back door, that little mule sees me and he starts calling because he knows it's feeding time and he knows I'm going to spend a little bit with him. And then when I get home from work, I got to sneak into the house because if he sees me, he won't stop calling until I go back out because I get home right around feeding time. Yeah. As soon as I come out, he'll start yelling for me and I'll feed him and then I'll come out afterwards and do a little training with him. He's a little guy. So I don't really use him for anything, but I halter train him and stuff. And he's trained to the point where I could point at one of his hooves, and he'll lift it up and hold it off the ground for me until I grab it. And he's a fun little guy. My wife says he's my psychologist because when I need to sit and talk to somebody and have him just listen, he'll do that. He won't interrupt and try to give me his thoughts on things, you know?
That's good. Yeah, I mean, animals can be that way for people, psychologists.
He is that way for me.
They can be. They sure can. Guys, if I look real sleepy and tired and yawning, it's because I am. I'm wore out. I left last night and drove all night to Cullen, Virginia. I'd never been to Cullen, Virginia.
You had to stop, too, on the way. You got so tired.
Oh, I had to stop and sleep 2 or 3 hours, yeah. I stopped and slept in the parking lot over there at the truck stop and then drove straight home and didn't get much sleep last night. And I'm leaving again tomorrow.
I was riding around with Henry yesterday looking at property that I might be interested in because, as you know, this is where I'd like to retire.
Did you find something, you think?
I saw a couple of nice things, you know.
You're going to try to buy it before you retire, ain't you?
Yeah. I want to be in something down here 2 years before I retire.
That way you can get plans going. And
I want my barn built. If I need any reno on a farmhouse, if I need a house put on whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I want 2 years to get it done before I come down. I don't want to get down here and then start, you know.
Makes it pretty rough.
Yeah.
It does do that.
I'm not an old man yet, but I'm not a young man either. And 2 years is, you know, that's a little bit of time off of my life. So I'd rather incorporate that prior to retirement instead of after retirement.
What's your plans when you get here? Like, you got something planned?
Well, I mean, I'd frankly love to start a carriage company. Y'all don't have one down here, you know, and this is a beautiful area. And I see a lot of out-of-state plates come down here and visit the South Fork area down here. And I think a lot of them are fascinated with the fact that the Amish and the Mennonites are on the roads down here. You see the signs for them. And I think someone would love to have a chance to get into a cart and just hear the click-clack of the hooves on the pavement.
You know what you could do? You could get an Amish hat. Well, you got one. You bought an Amish hat while you was here.
Yeah, I have one.
So you could get clothing made while you're here.
Suspenders and all.
And you could buy you an Amish buggy. And you could go down on South Fork Creek and set up Amish buggy rides.
I don't think that would be very fair. I think the Amish would probably.
They ain't gonna do it.
I think they'd run me out for impersonating Amish. I can't go in my English clothes and a baseball cap.
You could, yeah.
All right. I think I'd try it that way.
You could, honestly. You could give rides down there in the community.
I'm sure.
There's enough people comes here.
There are. That's what I said. There definitely are. I mean, talk to the gentleman that owns the nursery over there and see if I could base right out of that parking lot. Let them park and pick up or something like that.
I got the perfect place. Give rides at the Bread of Life.
Oh, I was going to say show Walters because they feed them there as soon as they walk in. You know,
oh, God.
They're blowing off fireworks out there. They got some stuff that's about a quarter stick of dynamite.
I felt that in my chest.
The guy asked him when he bought him, he said, you want something that'll take your arms off or take your legs off? And Chris said, something that'll take my legs off. That's those things.
Golly.
They're a quarter stick of dynamite. They put holes in the ground. Yeah. Henry wanted to set one off inside. I said, Henry, you will hurt somebody. The concussion alone will.
He wanted to set off one in the building?
Wanted to set off one right out there in the building.
Sounds about right.
I said, Henry, don't do that. But
I may go home and go to bed before all this blowing up.
You need to hang around. This is going to be good. And they've been working on them pork butts since yesterday.
I'm not leaving before that's done.
Yeah, Chris been working on them since before yesterday. We went down there and got them at Showalters.
The food's more important than the fireworks.
I think so, too.
Definitely.
I think so, too.
We're going to eat here in about 45 minutes, too.
Yep. It's starting to, it'll start to get dark soon enough.
We invited a bunch of people.
Invited the whole community from what I heard.
Pretty much. I don't know how many will show up.
I don't know either. But
guys, we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun here.
Yeah.
We do train and sell horses, and we work a lot, but we have fun too. Like Andrew's been here all week, just hanging out.
Yeah. People ask me, they go, "Well, what are you doing when you go down there? What do you do? What do you like about it so much?" I said, "I tell you, it's relaxing. They go, well, you just sit around all day? I said, no. I said, I actually walk before I get here, get up around 4:30, walk. Then I'll try to get down here early enough and beat Henry to the barn because I like to feed him. And then during the day, if we're going to, put a harness or on anything and just bring it out for a run wherever we're going, we went down across the creek, up the side of the hill, the one that we climb up by the graveyard up there.
And flipped.
Come back down. No, Henry put one on the side on the logging road the other day.
Was you with him?
I was with him. I had to push it back over. But it really wasn't his fault because he backed it up to the hillside so it could not maneuver anymore.
Okay.
And that's really what kind of made it flip. But those horses, those Belgians, solid as can be.
Yeah, they are.
That bar got in between the lead horse's legs and no panic at all. No panic. Henry just got off, took the chain, hooked the chain up to the bar so that they could pull it right back up on the trail. And I mean, as calm as could be. That's the key. I mean, not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
But Henry don't get upset. And if you don't get upset, generally the animals won't get upset.
That's true. That's a major thing right there now.
I mean, he wished that you were videotaping at the time to show how it went. Because it went almost like you were setting up a demonstration for how to tip a trailer and put a trailer back up. It went perfect. As perfect as something like that could go.
You could have pulled that phone out and started videoing.
I could have, but I was pushing the trailer back up. It was the big one.
The 16 passenger,
the big burgundy one with the black seats, yeah. And I was driving the little one that you guys always show in the river and everything like that. And I told him afterwards when we got up there, because I took a different route down the river to see if the river route was clear. But it wasn't. There were trees down on the river. So I had to turn around on a creek. So I had to turn around and come back. But there's no room to turn around. I pulled a Henry. I went up the bank of the creek into the field, turned around, drove him right back down the bank of the creek and came out. And he made me do it again because they went the wrong way and we had to open the gate for them. So I had to do it twice. I pulled 2 Henrys in one day.
Golly.
We have had a good time. There is no time that I come down here that I don't have the best time of my life. I mean, I told you when I came down for the clinic, my wife said, you're going to the clinic. Clinic's not cheap. And I understand because there's a lot that goes into it. My wife goes, you're going to the clinic? What do I get? I sent my wife and daughter to Aruba. And I got the better end of the deal. Because they had to argue with each other over what they were doing, and I didn't have to argue with nobody.
You knew what you was doing.
But I have a great time.
Too. Everybody needs to come in October to our barbecue.
Yeah. If you miss that barbecue, you are missing a great time because we harness up a whole lot of horses. If we got mules here, the mules get harnessed up. We go out several times a day, take that big wagon out. People could check out individual teams, take the little wagon out, or hook them to the big wagon if they prefer, like Chris and his wife did from down there in Utah. Shout out. Yeah. And, I mean, it's a great time. It's amazing. If you're thinking about coming and you're a little bit scared and you're like, well, I don't know if I'm that much into it, come down. If you think that you're afraid of the animal because it's too big, come down. There's big animals, there's small animals, they're all nice. Those halflingers, 14-1, 14-2, fantastic. I mean, there's something for everybody. If you at all like horses, if you at all like mules, there's something for everybody.
We got something coming this year, too. 2 new Roberts passenger wagons. I ordered 2 new ones.
Don't let Henry take them up in the hills.
Blue and whites.
All right.
12 passengers, though.
A little bit smaller.
4 foot shorter.
Oh, just enough room where Henry could have turned it around on that logging road.
That's right, yeah.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Well, it's been amazing.
It has been.
I mean, every time, like I said, every time I come down here, I have a great time.
Yeah.
And you guys are just the best hosts. I mean.
We try to be.
Yeah. So great.
I don't know about Henry, but I try.
Henry's as fun as can be. And, you know, you might see him on videos and think he's a little standoffish. He's not. Once you get to know him, he's a fantastic guy.
Yeah.
His wife is great. His kids are great. I mean, it's a great community.
It is.
And people just pull up all the time. We were sitting around the other day, and that gentleman came up from down there in Tennessee. That
Paul Smith.
Yeah, Paul Smith pulled up.
I missed him.
Had his wife, just pulled in. Wasn't looking for nothing in particular, just got out. I says, I know you. He goes, what? I said, I know you. I watch your videos. You're Paul Smith. You're the mule trainer. He goes, that's right. And that's what happens here. I mean, people just stop by for no particular reason.
That's right, yeah. Uh-oh, we got a guest coming in.
Here's one.
He's stopping by
Winnie,
for no
come on.
reason.
Winnie, come over here. Don't kick the stand. Come here. Come around.
We're actually on a podcast, Winston.
Come
you
here.
can be a guest.
Come here, Winnie. Get up here. I'm going to lift you.
He don't want to be
Go
on.
to Daddy. Winnie wants my watch. That's what he wants. He likes my watch. I give it to him, and he plays music on my Galaxy watch.
And you're going to meet a lot of new people tonight, too, that you
That's
ain't
right.
got to meet.
That's right. I've met a bunch of them before,
Yeah,
but there'll be new ones.
that's right. Henry, do I need to help you?
What
get
is he
something?
doing?
I could have got that for you. Here. There you go. Henry's in here, but he don't want to be on a podcast. I've been trying to get him to do one, but he won't do it. So
Henry, you should do one.
he's going to eventually.
People can hear me talk on the videos. They don't need to hear me on the podcast.
Yeah, but it's more fun on the podcast. They get to see how funny you are.
There's
You know,
different.
they see you on the videos and they think you're all rigid and everything.
Yeah. There's different people that listen to the podcast from what is on YouTube. Also,
That's true.
Well, they can go to YouTube and watch your channel, and then they'll.
it's always going to.
He got an answer for everything.
Guys, we're
Learn
going to.
from two of the best.
That's right.
Stephen and Andrew. Making excuses.
Goodbye, Henry.
Bye.
Bye, Winnie.
He's going to shut the door back now before they blow something up. Oh, I didn't expect them to come in.
I didn't either. But it's a good place to leave off.
Oh, yeah, well, we got to go eat anyway. It's almost eating
We
time.
do.
It's getting there. So.
Happy July 4th, everybody. I hope everybody's safe. And I hope you keep all your fingers and toes.
Yes, that's very important.
That's super important.
You know, James Ray's missing a big toe.
Fireworks?
No, lawnmower.
Oh.
He is missing a toe. So hopefully he don't lose his other one.
All right, then.
Oh, poor James Ray. Guys, thank y'all. Hope you enjoy these couple podcasts we done today with Andrew and Chris. Just kind of community members of ours. I wanted to get them on here and let them talk and voice their opinion. And they mean a lot to us, and y'all do too. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Check us out on the website at www.drafthorsesandsmulesforsale.com. If you need anything by the way of harness, equipment, farm implements for your horses, mules, anything, give us a call. We're here to help you. If you just have questions, call us too. 606-303-5669. Until the next one, thank you all, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
As another captivating episode of Harness Up with Haste Draft Horses and Mules draws to a close, we extend our sincere gratitude to our listeners for joining us on this enlightening journey. We hope today's discussions have deepened your appreciation and understanding of these magnificent creatures. Remember, the adventure continues beyond this podcast. Stay connected with us on social media and share your stories. For more information and to explore further, visit drafthorsesandsmulesforsale.com. Thank you for being part of our community. Until next time, keep harnessing your curiosity and passion for these God-given creatures. Farewell for now.